Estamos en directo, sí señor. Okay. Let's do this. Let's see. Alright, so today going to be dumping what's inside here. So tonight, or this afternoon, or from wherever you are currently watching us, I know there are a few people watching from the States, and we got a few people like Selma who's going to be joining us later. So we're going to be dumping a very interesting 20 years old prototype game, first prototype game for the original Game Boy. This is going to be something new, something interesting. So I'm gonna be talking in English because I have a few people who wants to watch the recording afterwards who cannot attend, and just for the sake of basically integrity, we are going to be posting how we dump everything. So that's the reason mostly talking in English. Pero si eres español y me estás escuchando, pues déjate un comentarito por el chat y charlamos en español un poquito. To say thanks to few people here. So firstly, Forest of Illusion for helping out with some of the information regarding these cartridges, these cards, and how they work and what is needed to dump them, and overall some information about the hardware and sort of things. So thanks to them, they make a huge effort dumping prototypes, dumping lots of lost media, especially for Nintendo, but also for overall some other things as well I've seen. So yeah, shout out to them. If you want to follow them, they're Forest of Illusion in Twitter, and I will be pasting their website later. So that's it for now. Also thanks to Rotronics, who was one of the main donors of the crowdfunding for obtaining this prototype. It was really hard actually to obtain the prototype. We had lots of problems with the seller. So mostly stuff like getting it to ship, getting the seller to respond on time, so we can as well be responsive, right, when trying to preserve these sort of things and asking people for a crowdfunding. So that was the basic about it. So thanks all who retweeted, thanks everyone who shared this crowdfunding on the socials. So all the team wants to give you their most sincere thanks, and you made it possible basically. So now we're going to be dumping it. I'm going to show you the hardware that I'm going to be using. This is going to be really short streaming. I don't expect it to last a lot. I will be showing the software I'm using on all the devices that I have here today. So as you can see, we've got a cam here, and I'm going to be showing you a few things that I'm going to be using to dump this card. So that's everything. I think I'm going to go real quick for a glass of water because I don't have anything to drink, and this is going to be extensive. So Alisadra, ATAT, if you're here on the chat, manifest yourselves. I don't know if you speak English or perhaps vosotros habláis español. Alright, so we're back. I hope you can listen correctly. Oops. I hope my mic is working. We always have problems with this shit. But hopefully today it's working and you can hear me correctly. So there goes that. Alright. So what do we have here? Here I have, for dramatic purpose, I haven't removed the packaging. We have the prototype game that we have obtained. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to be using to dump it. So here we have Game Boy Advance. I'm going to be testing the game actually. Here we have the game. I have some other cartridges that we can use to test the device. And this is what I'm going to be using mainly for dumping the Game Boy cartridges. Why? So this is the GB operator from Epilogue for those that don't know about it. And it's basically an all-in-one solution to read and write Game Boy cards. Both the original Game Boy and the Game Boy Advance. So that should be a good tool to use, and it works for dumping games. It works for rewriting cartridges that are rewritable. I don't have any of those to test it, but the software supports it, and it works with Linux, Mac, and Windows machines. So it should be an all-in-one solution, and it's perfect. As you can see, this is the Founder Edition. Disclaimer, I was sent this by Epilogue some time ago to review it, but this is not sponsored by them in any way, so we will just using this because it's what I have at hand, and it works, it does the job, and I don't have any of those other tools or hardware that is used to dump Game Boy cards. There are some sockets and some tools that you can buy online in AliExpress and from other buyers who do the same thing, sometimes with a little bit older software, and I'm not sure if that works on every main operating system, but this is great because this works on Mac, this works on Linux, and this works on Windows, so it does the job. Right, so for dramatic purpose, because I have actually checked that the card was correct and everything, I have here our development card. So I'm gonna get the Game Boy here. We are going to be testing that the game works. So what is this game? What is this game that we've got here? This is mostly a development card used by developers of Game Boy games, the latest stage more or less of their process of game development. So when sending people review copies, when testing on real hardware. Have not done any previous analysis of this, so it's going to be all new for us, and let's see what happens. Right, so I'm gonna put the GB operator stuff in here. I've already set it up. It's here, you're going to see it in a few moments, but in the meanwhile, let me unbox this. So this was the package that the server sent to us. There's no private information in here, so there we go. Here it is. Now we are going to see what's inside, and we're going to test it and talk a little bit about these cards, the hardware they have, how they work, these sort of interesting things. So let's take a quick look at what's inside in here. I know my stream setup is not the best one, especially to divide the screen. I know this kinda sucks, but I don't care. As long as we document this and how we're dumping it, I don't really care. This is going to be recorded and then uploaded to YouTube, hopefully. So that's pretty much it. Right, that should do the trick. Okay, so this is the card. This is how it came when the server sold it to us. As you can see, there's a sticker that says Zidane Generation. This is the game that we're going to be dumping today. An early version. This is a sports game, like we said on Twitter. So let's see what we can do with it. I'm going to actually open it. It's a little bit right. There we go. So here it is. All right, this is how Nintendo Game Boy development card looks like. Oh, there we go. This is how they look like. This is their code number, DMG MBC532M flash. So this is the stuff. This is the good stuff, right? So let's see. The card itself is in pretty good condition. The sticker is not weared off. It works. I tested that it works previously, but we are going to test it again now. And it's very clean. It's very clean, apart from this sticker here. So, story time. Where does this card come from? This is a very interesting story that I want to tell you about in a moment, as soon as I'm able to restore the music. Okay. Perfect. So, let's talk about this. All right. So we have someone from Lost Nintendo History that is giving me some tips on the Discord. Yeah. So this is an official dev card. It looks really clean. It's in very good shape. You can see the sticker seems to be in very good condition, except for a little bit here where it's bended, but it works. So let's talk about the stickers on the card itself, because I think this is interesting. So basically we have two possible, well, not parameters, right? But what this table is basically talking about is these switches in here. So let me get something more useful to point at the card. So yeah, basically official cartridge seems to be good. This is not how to say, a bootleg or something like that. At least it doesn't look like it. All the chips are good. Stuff is manufactured in the year it should be, so it looks good. We're going to look at the insides afterwards. So basically, we have the switches, and what this table here in Japanese is telling us is that the switches basically can be used to select different sizes for the SRAM memory. So again, a bit of story time. The SRAM memory on the Game Boy cards is used to store the save games. And if you've played any Game Boy game, or you used to play them and you've come sometime afterwards, you know that when the battery is dead, your save game is dead, because save game information is stored in a volatile SRAM memory. So if it loses power, then it's basically gone. So the same thing applies here, except that we can choose from different, I guess those are memory banks, and we can choose different SRAM sizes. So you can see here that we can choose from, this basically means known, I think, the first value in Japanese. Then this is 64 kilobits, 256 kilobit, and 1 megabit. So those are the possible sizes for the SRAM. Those sizes are chosen by switching the dip switch, this black one here. So right now it's all off, which means this game doesn't use SRAM. So in other words, this game doesn't store a save game. So okay, we won't have. Well, I mean, this doesn't mean that it's not storing it, but right now this is disabled, right? So we don't have. The game couldn't access a flash memory, SRAM memory right now to store the save game, but this doesn't mean that the code may not have support for it. This also means, unfortunately, that even though if the battery is okay and it's alive, we sadly don't have any save game. But well, we usually don't care about that, right? So this is Zidane Generation. A little search on the internet revealed that basically the final game that was released was called Zidane Football Generation. So this is a kind of early prototype. At least has a different name from release. And we're going to see. We're going to see basically how it runs, what it does. So I have here a Game Boy Advance. This is the normal model. So we are just going to check that it works using Mario Bros. This time, just for a quick check. Unfortunately, this doesn't have an APS screen or an LCD screen, so it's just a matter of well, I think this is good. Okay, I think my save game was right on this game. Yeah, it looks like it, but it was okay a few days ago. So I don't know, man. I don't know what happened here, but okay. So this works. Let's now test the prototype. This is what we really want to see. So let's just see what's going on with it. So this should be safe. These cards should act as a generic game or a retail game. So by the way, people who's here in the chat, feel free to comment or correct me if I say something wrong, something incorrectly. All right. So let's get to dumping the thing. Actually, let's going to test it. This is how it looks on the console. It looks really good, I would say, for a dev card, and seems to be very, very good shape. So as you can see, I'm not changing the dip switches. I don't want to risk I don't know, modifying something and not being able to dump the game, or I don't know. This shouldn't affect the ROM because this is mostly the SRAM, so it should be safe. But anyways, just for the sake of consistency, let's see what we get here. All right. So the game is booting. This is developed by Cryo. You can see the reflection in the screen, but all right, we don't care. Adidas. Oh, Aqua Pacific. Okay, this is interesting. And what else do we have? Okay, so we've got. Right, can you hear that? I don't know if you can hear this. Let me. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but actually it's making some really weird sound, like a selection sound, but it's really off. So let's just choose English for now. The game is booting. This was confirmed by Forest of Illusion. Thanks to them again that this prototype hasn't been done previously. Can you hear the annoying sound? I don't know. All right, we got Exuma here. Party is getting started. So yeah. This is good. So we've got the game running. So this is good. The game is running, which is great. You can see a picture of Zidane here. He was really young back then, I guess. So like we mentioned, so what's going on with this? So this is a sports game, like we mentioned, and this is actually the game Zidane Generation. If you look it up on Google, you will see that no game with that name actually exists. The final game that was released, like in some years later, was called Zidane Football Generation. So, okay, in terms of how interesting this game is, I mean, this could be a Lost Mario game, but it isn't. So, it's a football game, all right. But Zidane is very well known in Spain for obvious reason, right? A great football player, and by some considered an equally great trainer. So, yeah, this game is of value, and I'm glad that we are going to be able to preserve it. All right, so let's get into the game. This has some very basic. Let me show you some very basic graphics, and the. Okay, I cannot get a non-reflective view of this, but I hope it's good enough. So what do you think? Should we play a little bit with it? I think we're going to dump it, and we're going to play on the emulator, because trying to play here it's a little bit shitty, especially for those watching. For me it's kind of okay, but let's do it the correct way. Alright, so game seems to be working perfectly. We have those SRAM switches. So that's pretty much it. I didn't remember how small this is. So here you have different modes. You can play against the CPU. You have different countries, etc, etc. But we are not going to play right now. Let's get to dump it. And once it's dumped, we will play a little bit just to see what's going on with this. And then we'll look into actually uploading prototype and all that stuff. Alright, so this is the card. For those that arrived later, this is a closer look at it. It's really cool, actually, in very good shape. And let's dump it, and then we'll tear it down and see what's inside. Alright, so for that I have this lovely little GV operator thing. So I think I talked with some of you about it. This is the Founders Edition that I got some time ago when it launched, and it works really great. So I'm going to switch to the software side of things. How can I make this so it looks good? Let's see. Yeah, fancy dumping device. This is great. Let's get to the software, and this is the software. So this is it's a very nice device. It looks clean. Let me show it to you again. And actually, I'm going to show only this. So it looks really good. It has USB-C connection, and this is how it works. So you run the software, then you plug the card. Right? It's not plugged right now, but you can plug it, and that's pretty much it. I think that's a Joey. Someone saying. No, this is actually the GV operator. Well, I don't know if their hardware is based on something. I guess it's not, because it uses an ARM processor and some other stuff. It doesn't use any FPGA, which is good, because, well, we don't need all that much. But the Joey, I don't have it. It will do the same, by the way, but I just happen to have this, so this is a very neat device. I absolutely recommend buying it if you are into these sort of things. Though they are not sponsoring me or anything. So that's it. Let's get to actually dumping it. So this is how the software looks. Actually, let me get this sucks. I know this sucks. Let me at least get this aligned properly. Because I don't want to upset people with with OCD. Let's see if I can make this any better. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's leave it like this. Alright, so this is plug and play basically. You plug the card. Well, this card fails a little bit, but I hope it doesn't fail right now. And this is it. Let me show you just the software. So it's great. It identifies what game you are playing. Again, I hope the music is not too loud, but I'm just going to reduce it a little bit. And I hope it works, but I don't know. I don't know if this is too loud. If it is, let me know. But it should be kind of fine. Hey, Easy Fire, my king. How are you? ¿Qué tal? Alright. So I'm talking in English, but mostly because we have lots of people talking English here, but you're welcome to speak in whatever you want. Easy, so just ask me in whatever you're comfortable with. So you can see I have some good OST, some good soundtrack for this. So we are basically going to dump a development card for the Game Boy. This is it. I was just showing off the software and everything. So yep. That's it. Alright, so let's get to dumping actually. Let me show you the software. Alright, so this is great because it allows you to launch the game in an emulator, which is nice. And I'm gonna do a little something here to maybe get the screen bigger. Let me see. One moment, please. Stand by. Yeah, there we go. Let's try, okay, something like this. Right, you should see this bigger. Ooh, nice. Capture card, okay. So I was talking about this. This is the GV operator. This is their software, runs on Linux, Mac, and Windows. So it allows you to play on an emulator by clicking launch, which I'm actually going to do so you can see how it works. And it dumps from the card and it runs on the emulator. So we are going to use this. Yeah, I think this card is not being read very well because it failed previously. Yeah, fuck it. The software crashed. Yeah, this. Sorry for that. But basically, this card is not clean, so it has failed. So I'm just going to reboot the software and hope it comes back. Okay, so we are not going to actually launch Mario because this isn't working very well. Right. What we are going to be using is essentially. Oh, sorry, I made my camera smaller. Let me fix that real quick. Okay, we're good. So what we are using here is, I'm gonna try with a different game. I'm going to try with Pokemon Yellow. Let's see if it... Yeah, okay, this is good. The last one overheated, Chinese quality. Oh, the capture card. Oh, I had the same one. So that sucks because mine might go fail someday, but for now it hasn't failed. So, but I think we had the same one last time we talked. So, so why is my video getting like cropped? Oh, no. Okay, I know why. All right, now we're good to go. So I have Pokemon Yellow here. I have the software here, and we are going to see and launch it and see if it works. Okay, so now this dumped correctly, and you can see we can play the game. This is what we are going to do, by the way. Whenever we dump the game to make sure that it works and everything. So you can see this works, etc. This is not interesting right now. So discard. I don't want to overwrite the save. All right. So time for the real thing. We are going to be dumping this card. Okay, so what will happen when I plug this is that it will recognize that we have a legit card connected, but it doesn't have the signature, so it of course can't know which game this is because this is an unreleased game or an unreleased version of a game to be more precise. So let me get this, and you will see it. All right, there we go. So we have a beautiful unknown title, but you can see that it is being detected as an official cartridge. So all is good. on that front. I mean, this is not a bootleg. I know some bootlegs get detected as real cards, which is a pity, but this is not the case. So let's go to data, and here this is what we want. All right, so we are going to be dumping the game. So let's just go to it. I'm just going to my lovely temp folder. I'm just going to create a new folder called Zidane Generation dump. All right, so this is where we're going to dump the game. We will dump it a few times, and we will check for the CRC, for the hash, to see that the two dumps or the three dumps that we take are the same. So let's just call this Zidane Generation Prototype. I guess that's a good name. Let's dump, and I'm going to show you before dumping. I want to show you how it looks. All right. So this is how it looks. Basically, you click on save, and it starts reading. This is really cool, by the way. And there we go. There we have it. So now we should have a dump of Zidane Generation. I'm just going to this folder that I mentioned earlier. And we have it. I have it here. So it's a 124 kilobyte game. That's good. That's great. I think it matches what... Wait, does it match? Let me check again. It's a 32 megabyte flash, but of course doesn't need to be completely populated. So let's just run the game. Well, let's actually make another dump of it. So we're going to dump again. Oh, you're not seeing this, but I'm on a file dialog here on the system, so I'm just dumping. You cannot see it, but I'm basically typing Zidane Generation Prototype 2.gb. So I'm just going to dump it, and there you have it. This is really cool, by the way. These effects, I really love them. They really put effort into making it cool, so that is appreciated. All right. Okay. So easy for now. I'm not using a capture card because this is my phone camera basically, and then my camera for the computer. So that's it. But for future stuff, and I think I'm going to go back to streaming. I really want to do Mirror's Edge speedrunning. I love that game. I've been playing lately. I've been learning the speedrunning tricks and tricks to get out of bounds. So who knows? Maybe I come back to streaming. Just I cannot do programming, streaming, or reverse engineering anymore because of NDAs. Well, I could, but I will have to be careful of what I actually do. So for now, maybe it's going to be just gaming. So anyways, we can also download the save, and I think I'm going to do this just in case. Although we should get all zeros, right? Because you know, no SRAM selected. For those in the chat, especially Jericom, if you're here, but you're not going to be hearing me. So let me write you over Discord. So I changed the deep switch positions to see what happens. All right. I got my folks from Lowe's Nintendo history here. So much appreciated, guys. This is the first game we are dumping, so I'm just going to dump the save game. Let's call it save game 1.save. All right, you could see a blue light. Yep, I'm going to show the card again. All right, so now we've got it dumped. I'm going to do something, which is I'm going to check the CRC just in case. You can see this, but the first dump CRC is C2FD, and the second dump should be the same. So it's C2FD. All right, so the dumps are good. Let's just try that this works by playing it. All right, so you can see I'm launching it, and I will be showing the card again in a minute. All right, so here we go. This is it, folks. This is the game. Now in full. Let me shut down the music for a moment. And let's listen to this beauty. Oh no, wait. Okay, here we go. So I don't know what I have to click. But I think you can hear that. Can you hear this? Let's try again. Yeah, this is the sound that it makes. I'm just going to choose English for now. This is a very early prototype. The sprites and everything looks weird. Let's enjoy the Zidane music for a moment. So this is the card for those watching, and basically I think the switches. Let me get this a little bit not so loud. Right. So this basically says that you can choose the SRAM size. I think because it says SRAM in here. I don't know if you can see it very well. I will show it later. And the position of the switches. So I don't know if we can actually like do stuff with the ROM. We are going to tear down this in a moment. So let's just... Well, the game seems to be running fine, so we are preserving it. That's perfect. Let me get into actual game. The sprites are weird as fuck, I gotta say. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We have friendly match, we have arcade, we have tournament. Let's see what arcade is about. So we can choose from 3 difficulties, ABC. Oh look, this sprite here looks to be like broken or something. Like the colors are not right. I don't know why. Yeah. So changing the SRAM is not going to make any effect. So we can select the match time. Let's just play a game and see what happens. And we can choose our player. I'm going to search for Spain. All right. And we are going to play. Yeah, that's it. To see what this game is about, and then we will compare with the final game. So just to see what this is about. So I think I don't know much about football, but I guess here I can change my players. But I actually don't care much about this. So how do I start the game? I don't know. I don't know how to actually start the game. This is interesting. Alright, right, here we go. I made it. As you can see, the graphics are pretty interesting. We need to see the final game. Because I don't expect this is much better, although it was like 3 years later. I'm super bad at FIFA, so I'm just... I don't even know how to run. Oh, okay, so this is how you run. So the controls are very basic. With B, you sprint, and with A, you pass the ball to your mates. And I'm supposed to be Spain, playing as Spain, but I have no clue who these people are, or anything about Spanish teams in like what year was this? Oh, I scored a goal. Interesting. I may not be that bad. The audio is really crappy. I don't know why. It's like I don't know what's going on with the audio, but maybe it's not final. I imagine it's not final. I hope it's not what they made in the end. But it's not that bad. So let me get this. I messed the overlay. Right? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so yeah, there isn't much more we can do here. So I'm just going to... Alright, you can pause and we can quit, and that's pretty much it. Let's see the cards on the inside. I'm not actually going to play everything. So that's pretty much it. Press escape. And I don't want to overwrite the set game. So that's it. So let's see the insides of the hardware. Let's see the insides of the hardware. What's in here? Okay, so I'm going to swap to this camera. There we go. Actually going to make myself a bit smaller. Nah, well, this is okay. So now I can just get the card out from here. Seems to be working really well. Overall, not a very interesting game, at least in my opinion, but it's fair that than some stuff we've seen out there, and I'm really happy that we managed to preserve it. So for this, I'm going to... Yeah, I will be careful, don't worry. I have a good set of tools in here, so just going to see what we need in here. So we need interestingly, this is a normal screwdriver, sorry, a Phillips screwdriver, I think these are called, whereas commercial cards use this torque thingy screw, but here we have a Phillips screw, so very easy to remove without damaging the card. Again, with the screw, not in this case. No, if you can see it very closely, but this is just a normal Phillips screw, so it will be relatively easy to remove. Let's just see what this is about. So I need one that is in size. I'm going to use the 1.5. I think this is 1.5. So just going to do this carefully. Yeah, just across. Exactly. It's the cross. This is the exact size. Just going to. No, sorry, this is not the size. I need a bigger one for this kind of screw. I have a set of. This is my screwdriver set with lots of different types, so I'm always ready for whatever comes. Yep, so this should be good enough. All right, perfect. Like I said, this is in very good condition. It's not hard. There's no pressure to be made here. It's just going out, and this is magnetic, so I can remove this screw very easily. Just going to leave it here. No, just going to leave it here for the moment. Okay. So good enough, good enough. So now what you can see here is that this thing sort of slides. So just going to very carefully remove it, and then, oh, all right, this is it. All right, so we've got a very nice Intel chip inside an Nintendo console. So they use an Intel chip. So I guess this is the ROM, but I'm only guessing right now. We will confirm it. This might be a controller, and will this be this RAM? Looks like this RAM, definitely. Definitely, this looks like this RAM, but oh no, we have Japanese parts here. We have Intel stuff. This is great. I didn't know that this is Intel. Let's actually see if I can tear down Mario as well, so we can just compare one to each other. But for now, this is it. So this is the cover case. So this is DMG MBC532M flash. So is the flash 32 amps? That is interesting because the game that we just dumped was like 1,000 kilobytes, so one meg in size. Which is interesting, right? Because it means it's a very small game. So, I mean, you've seen that the functionality in the game is very small. We have like a few modes, and that's pretty much it. So this is it. This is how it looks from the other side, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. So now as for the, I'm unsure about how to handle this. So I'm just going to be. I mean, if you're going to make this correct, I should be handling this with my hands because of static. So let's be consistent. I'm going to use this. A moment. No, not this. This. And let's see. So we don't want any static to go into the card. Just going to do it like this. All right, so this is the back layer, the back side of the card. You can see all the wirings in here. I love this camera. It is a very good camera. We got the Nintendo logo, 1999. That's the date on the card on this specific board. I don't know if you can see it. So this is a development board. I have to touch it. This is interesting. This is interesting, by the way. Let me put the card back into here without actually shorting anything. So you can see I'm always grabbing it from the corners. But look at this. So basically we have a short here. They made a hack. They connected this to ground, I think. I think this pin might be ground, so they grounded one of the pins on the Intel chip. Have no clue as to why. Maybe this is done to limit the size or something like that by not selecting all the banks. So what do you think, Jericom? What do you think about this? Do you think about this short? Let me know. Oh, who subscribed? Who followed Robert Duck 221? Welcome, bienvenido. I speak both English and Spanish, so just in case you speak any of those languages, we're looking at this development card, and this is very interesting. It has a, it's been manually modified here. I don't know what this is. I think this is GND, so this is ground, and they have shorted this pin to ground for some reason that I don't know, because I don't know the datasheet of this chip. So yeah, we can look at this chip. All right, so this is the let me see if I can focus this. This is the DA28F320J5 from Intel. So let's try and see what is this, because we don't know. Let's just say welcome to new people here. Oh, it translates into a monkey face. Okay. So let's look for this card. Let me resume the music, by the way, now that we are not playing the game. Right, so that should do a trick. Let's investigate. It's the flash chip. Yeah, most likely, but I'm interested in knowing why is the flash chip grounded. I mean, does that change something? Maybe. Let's just look into the internet. So you cannot see my screen because I'm not showing my my Google screen, but I'm just going to. Can I? Oh yes, let's do this. So this is, I love the iPhone, man. This is the fucking best mobile phone. Look at this camera, man. I mean, we're getting a very good image of the chip. So this is the DA28F 320J5 from Intel. So yeah, I got the datasheet. I'm going to be showing it in a moment. Yeah, I mean, you gotta do a little advertisement. No, but look at the camera; it's really good. Okay, I'm downloading the datasheet, and I'm just going to share it with you here, and we can see. Yeah, this is the flash memory. Let me share my screen. How can I do this? Can I share? What can I do? Okay, I'm going to change the screen in which I was sharing when we were dumping. So let me just change this real quick. Okay, so let's go for. Okay, got him. So let me move this. All right, so this is the datasheet. Good. This is good. Okay. Actually, going to be looking at this side by side, like this. Okay. Let's see what we can find about this. So. Do you see this correctly? Yes, I think this is kinda okay, acceptable. Could be better, I know. In fact, let's just make it a little bit bigger. I'm just going to hide my camera for now. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so this is the datasheet in question. And yep, we are looking at the last pin here. It seems to be. Oh, you're not seeing my. So I guess this is one, or maybe it's that one. I don't know, but judging by the orientation, yeah, this looks like pin 1, and that must be the last pin. So let's see what the datasheet has to say about this. Revision history, product overview. Let's see, product overview. I'm looking for the pinout. So command definition, bus operation. This should be at the beginning, but I don't know why it's not here. Let me look at the index. Oh shit! How can I remove this? Here we go. This is not a very good PDF viewer, but I hope you can at least see the basics of this. All right. So let me just unplug this, by the way. Okay. All right. So product overview. I don't see electrical specifications. I don't see like a pinout, which is weird. Okay. Okay. Here we go. So this is for. Okay. Maybe this one. Okay. So if it's this one, no, I think it's this one. This is the shape, right? Yep, this is the one. So this chip is basically voltage pen. I don't know what is V pen. This is interesting. Okay, my camera is not looking very good, so let's just share the complete thingy, and let's work with this, I guess. Yeah, this should be kind of better. Okay, sorry for that. All right, so this looks to be something called VPN, which I don't know yet what it is. Principles of operation. Oh, VPP. No, it actually says V. This is a program VPN programming enable. Okay, that's You may be onto something. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So is this what enables programming the card? Which means if I desolder this, would I be able to reprogram the card? It makes sense because this is a. Okay, I have to tell you the story of this card because it's very interesting actually. So I will be telling it in just a bit. So this was a review copy, review prototype, sent to reviewers in. Yeah. So Exluma is asking on Discord why would they do that, and I have the answer for that. This is a press review copy, which means it was sent to reviewers, to the press, to review an early version of the game. So of course they might have said, "Hey, let's disable programming," so no one reposes the card, or no one, erase the game on accident or something, right? It's just a protection, so the reviewers will be playing that game and that have not been reused. So I think that's the answer to to the question. Now, do we want to remove it? That's the real question, and I will say no. We don't want to remove it because we will be altering this piece of history, and we don't really want to do that, I guess. So let me show the card once more, just for, because this is interesting. So yeah, I would say we don't want to remove it. This is a rare prototype, like some of you are saying, and it's part of history, right? If we were to remove it, then we will be leaving our footprint into this, which is something we have already done, right? By preserving this game. I'm getting a bit philosophical here, but you know how these things go. So no, I think we are not going to remove it. We'll just leave it for the next one that we find, if we find any more, and it will decrease its value. Yeah, it will. It will. We're just going to keep it as is. So very interesting, very interesting. What I think we are going to try is to modify the switch. So I don't know. It can be interesting. You can see this TMG B04, by the way. So yeah, we are not going to remove that. We are not going to reprogram the thing. So here it says 64 M flash. This is interesting because the sticker says 32 mex flash. So maybe they just reuse the same PCB for the cards, but then they maybe then they just change the chips. I don't know. But it is interesting at least. So yeah, man, this is interesting. This is very, very nice looking device. So I guess this is the SRAM. Yeah, we see that it says 1M SRAM. So this is likely SRAM. Then there's something I don't know. What is this? This chip is maybe a voltage regulator. No, it can't be a voltage regulator. Maybe it's the thing that has the logic to, because I think I see it's connected to the SRAM and seems to be close to the deep switches. So it could be something like that, used to control the SRAM capacity. According to the sticker, the deep switch will change the SRAM, so the safe size. That may be the reset controller or so, which protect the SRAM. Yeah, I was thinking that probably if this doesn't have any safe game, I think because it's set to no safe game, so it really has nothing on the SRAM. But maybe it has something, and it's just a matter of enabling the deep switches. I don't know if the deep switches actually affect what we can read from the console. I think that's the case. So maybe there's something on the safe game. But when I dump the SRAM, I've dumped the SRAM, and I pass it through an X editor, and it's all zeros. So right now we are reading all zeros. I don't know if that could change if we change the SRAM switches, but I don't know if we want to try that. I mean, we don't lose anything. We already have dumped the game. The save game is all zeros. So maybe we want to do it. I don't know. What do you think? Should we do it? Should we change the switches and see what happens? Okay, so Garen can say Civilus GB cartridges usually have a chip that will make sure the switch between battery voltage. Oh, okay. It will make. All right. So that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So what Grigom is saying on Discord is that this may be a voltage controller. So when we plug the card into the console, it has to make a change, right, from the voltage from the battery to the voltage from the console. So that needs to be smooth in order to prevent the SRAM from glitching and from erasing or losing power. So yeah, that's probably it. I think we're going to disassemble this, just out of curiosity, see what it does, and see what it has to offer. So let me just zoom out a little bit. And okay, so this uses one of these weird connectors with 6. Not this one, the bigger one. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to. Yeah, I'm going to be able, absolutely. I have the appropriate thing for this. I think it's this one. Let me check. Yeah, no, not this one. Maybe this one. So I want to compare them to the retail thingy, but I'm not being able to actually unscrew this. It's a very weird. How was this called? You mentioned it before, but I don't remember how it was called. So yep. Game beat. Okay, so I had one type of screwdriver that should, in theory, be useful to unscrew this, but I can't. So let me see if I have some other game. No, everything has this. So I have some other cards here. I have the Pokemon ones. I have some very old and damaged cards, like this one, which are from when I was a child, I think. I don't know. I don't remember. This is definitely the first Game Boy game I had, Wario Land 2. Super cool game, by the way. Yep, so I'm not going to open this. I will just search for pictures. But I can see, because this is a transparent shell, that we have a very similar chip. I don't know if this is the same one, but it may be the same one, actually. So I don't know. I can't see it, but looks similar. Yeah. At least it has the same footprint, so it may be just that. Security by obscurity in this game, obscure screws. Absolutely, Nintendo is well known for screwing us with this stuff. Yeah. So the other chip that we have is this MBC5D, which I guess it's, I don't know. This may be the actual controller, and this. Oh, so interestingly, here it says MBC5Dev, and then the chip is MBC5D. So maybe they have different types of chips. That's the mapper. Oh, okay. So folks, this is the mapper. This is basically what provides the console with the appropriate ROM pages. Well, but memory banks, I think it's the correct word. I don't remember much about the Game Boy internals, but all the chips, all the cards had a mapper chip, and there are different models and so on, right? Yeah, it switches the memory banks of the ROM, because correct me if I'm wrong, right? But this interface, I don't know, this is 8 bits, I guess. But that's not enough for 32 megs of information, though. So there's this mapper. Exactly. The ROMs are bigger than the memory area. So this is basically hot swapping memory banks that are in the ROM and exposing them to the card, because this, I don't know if this is 8 bits or 16. I guess it's 8 because this looks like the 8 bits. So that's 2 to the power of 8 possible addresses, which of course is not much. So yeah, that's the mapper chip. Is this like a common mapper? Actually, that's something that we would like to investigate. Like, is this a common mapper, or is this Game Boy mapper list? I knew this exists. MBC3. Oh wait. Let's go back. GBX mapper list. So I think you are seeing this, right? So what are they saying on Discord? Yeah, MBC5 is I recall correctly, but not sure if the D is normal or not. So judging by this page, it says MBC5. It's quite common, I guess. It's made by Nintendo, so yeah. This seems to be for ROM only games. I don't know. I don't know if this has something to do or not. Identifier. And maybe no. I guess this is. Oh no. Okay, this means that some cards only have one ROM, and they don't have mappers, I guess. But MBC5 seems to be very common. So the Game Boy camera has a different one, for example. Interesting. I also have the Game Boy camera over here, so maybe that's something interesting to look into. But yeah. So the mapper chips. It's very interesting. The Xbox. The Game Boy architecture is it's one of a kind. So yeah. Mapper chip, possibly voltage, power management chip, SRAM, ROM, and deep switches. I think the schematics of these cards are reverse engineered somewhere on the internet. I remember seeing something like that. So according to Garrick on Discord, for those folks listening, it appears that the /D is specific to the flash card, and it may be able to control the flash write protect normally. So interesting. So I don't know, why did they solder this here? That's a very good question. So story time. I haven't actually yet explained where does this come from, and the actual story behind it. So the guy that sent us this told me that he obtained the card 10 years ago. He obtained this card. Let me set up my camera just for dramatic effect again. So they obtained this card on a street sale. They bought it from someone. And I screwed my camera on the process. Yep, okay, now. They bought this on a street sale. In Spain, we call them mercadillos. They're very common. Still after the pandemic, maybe not as much as before, but in big cities like Madrid and Barcelona, you've got these street sales called mercadillos. in which you can find all sorts of stuff. So you can find antiques, you can find clothes, new clothes, you can find souvenirs, you can find food, you can find lots of things. And in Madrid, at least, there is to be some huge mercadillos in which you could buy electronics and these sort of things. I've been to a few of them, though nowadays are mostly like recycled stuff and all things like that. For actual antiques, you need to go to other parts of the mercadillo or some stores that are nearby the mercadillo area to get like antiques and retro hardware, like all radios, all amplifiers, these sort of things. Right. So, anyways, so this guy bought this from, presumably, this is what he told me, from a guy that worked for a bank, for a Spanish bank, I think. So he was in charge of actually kicking people out of their houses when they didn't pay the rent, right? So if they had like a debt or something and they didn't pay the rent, the bank will make an embargo. So they will legally, the bank would own everything in the house and the house itself, and they will try to sell that stuff to pay for the debt. So this guy, actually, the guy that sold it on the street market, on the mercadillo, basically, I'm going to say stole it, but embargoed it from a developer's house, which was embargoed. And they told me that they were told that they had like lots of development and Nintendo stuff, or at least they have equipment for development, video game dev. So that's it, guys. Some developer 20 years ago was evicted from his house, which it's actually really sad if you think about it. I hope that guy or girl is doing well nowadays. I really hope so. But that's it. That's how it arrived in this guy's hands, and 10 years later, it came to us. So that's the story. That's how it ended up here. That's the story behind it. It's very interesting and a little bit sad story. But this is part of Nintendo's lost history, so that's how things work, man. I actually got sad of thinking about the poor developer that was evicted from his house, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, so let me look into Discord. I was just looking into a message. Yeah, disappear at very obscure places. So actually this card had been for sale on a local Spanish market. I'm just going to reassemble it while we speak, by the way. Well, you can see it doesn't fit perfectly here. Maybe once I place this screw, it seals better, but for now it seems to be kind of So let me just assemble it again. So all this, by the way, I wonder if this is the original sticker or this is something that the seller from the street market put into this to know what it was. I don't know. This is another mystery, and I'm not going to remove this. We're not going to sell this cartridge or anything, by the way, but it's interesting to preserve it the same way we found it, and that's pretty much it. So, by the way, shout out. Is that how you pronounce it? Shout out to Rotronics, who, along with me, was one of the main donors of the crowdfunding, making this possible. So, thanks to him for his donation. Now we were able to preserve this game. We'll be later making sure that this gets into Archiforge or whatever. Yeah, just like those Chinese companies, man. So this is a absolutely interesting piece of development hardware. I love it. It's in very good shape. Has some interesting but sad history, and yeah, and now it's been preserved. Something interesting that will happen when we publish this, or that I hope that happens. If not, I will make sure to try and do it myself, is to see what difference are between this card and the final release of the game, because the game ended up being released. It was called Zidane Football Generation, actually, and it makes you wonder, right? Like, what happens with the people that develop these companies? I think the companies no longer exist. I don't remember the names. We just saw it on the... Okay, seems like we're back. Yeah. No, my software crashed. So okay, we're back, but this shit crashed. Yep. But I'm gonna end this soon. So, for those of you still watching, we just crashed, but we're back. Luckily, everything seems to still be working here. So, that's it, folks. We dumped the game. I'm not going to play it much. Not really interested into the game itself. I'm interested in reversing it and seeing what else can we find, the difference between this and retail. And I don't know, maybe we should try and find the developers and try to reach out or something and see if the guy that got evicted was doing good. I wonder, maybe the final game has credits and the name of the developers appears there, so who knows. But it's also weird, right? Because this is a press thingy, so maybe the guy that was evicted was not actually a developer, but was like a reviewer or something for working for some company. I don't know if the game came from Spain. I know that the guy that was in charge of selling it was from Spain, but who was evicted and who was embargoed, I don't know if they were from Spain. So who knows, man. Might be an interesting thing to look in the future, try to find these devs and what they were doing. So that's pretty much it. I think we can leave it here for today. So we've seen the epilogue. GB operator can dump these prototypes. Again, finally, thanks to Forest of Illusion for basically solving some of the questions that we asked them through Twitter, and everyone who's been watching this stream, and all of you, all the Nintendo fans across the globe, for just supporting and wanting to know more about the lost history of these consoles and of these games. And I think I'm already getting emotional and getting philosophical, so it's time for us to finish this. Thanks everyone for joining us. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. I don't know if there's much people left here in the chat, but it's just plug or Twitter. I think this is it. thanks again to Rotronics, thanks to First of Illusion, thanks to the seller, and that's it. Hopefully we'll be dumping and preserving more games in the future. So yep, let's check this out and let's keep it. Oh, actually, before going, I want to show something for those that are still here, which is something else.